Hey there everybody, Pete Pardo here. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. Today we've got a pretty cool show, kind of like an unboxing show, sort of, right? This is a unveiling of, I've already taken the shrink wrap off it, obviously, because I had to go and listen to it. It's a review as well as an unboxing. Black Sabbath Volume 4 Super Deluxe, right? This is obviously a band that I absolutely love, and I remember like when they first announced that they were going to be releasing this, I said to myself, how many times in my life have I bought Volume 4? And I was thinking, well, let's see, I had it on LP back in the day, I bought the original CD version, I bought the remastered version, I bought another remastered version a couple years ago. All right, so I bought this a fair amount of times. Do I really need this? Probably not, because I'm pretty happy with the last remaster, right? But of course, then I heard that, all right, so we got first CD, CD1, original album, 2021 remastered. Okay, that wasn't enough to sell me. Then we got Cd2 Outtakes and New Mixes from Steven Wilson, and I was like, that's kind of intriguing. Cd3, alternate takes, false starts, and studio dialogue. And I'm like, that's kind of intriguing, right? Casual listen, right? I'm intrigued to hear the guys talk in the studio, to hear these alternate versions of some of the songs from the album, whatever. And then, of course, CD4, live in the UK, performances from throughout 1973. And I'm like, I'm really intrigued about that, even though, there are some things in here that we've heard before on... the Rainbow Show, of course, from Live at Last, what have you. And then I was like, so I'm intrigued, even more so. And then I heard about the booklet, the book that comes with it. And I was really intrigued about that, because as a collector, as a guy who loves this sort of thing, you throw books in there, and I'm kind of sold, right? And then I saw what the box set looked like, and even though this doesn't fit nice and neat on one of my shelves, you know what? I had to get it, right? So here it is. So let's take a look at this. So, of course, it comes in, one of these coffin style boxes. Here's what's, they stick on the back, which is basically the same thing as what you see there. Okay, and then you've got one of these deals, right? So you pull this up, and there's all the goodies, right? So let's take a look at each one. So, starting off with this. Nice hardbound book, right? There's Ozzy on the cover. Looks familiar, right? Of course. And I'm not going to show you every page because I want you guys to, hopefully check this out and enjoy it. But a wealth of photographs, some of you might recognize from the original LP, right? Loads of information on the album, lots of live shots, lots of news article, newspaper, magazine clippings, and things like that. All right. I mean, this, if you're a fan, right, if you're a collector, this is the kind of shit you love. And me, I'm all over this. So, and this is, in fact, I can't believe I haven't mentioned it yet. This is, if you don't already know, I'm sure those of you who watch this channel regularly know that this is my favorite Black Sabbath album of all time. So, this was kind of a no-brainer, right? So that's the book. So then, we've also got a poster. All right, which pretty cool, right? Snowblind. I may have to put that in a little frame and get that up on the wall. Why not? All right, so here we have the original album. Okay, again, different album cover, right? That's kind of ballsy. Newly remastered. Sounds really good. Does it sound drastically different from the remaster from 3 years ago, whatever the hell it was? Yeah, not really, but it still sounds good. I mean, there's some people who always, complained about the kind of production, the moneyness of this album. I never minded it, to be honest with you, but it does sound great. Okay. Then you've got the Outtakes and New Mixes. So here we've got Tony on the front there, and on the back, there's the man himself, right? Okay, you'll recognize those two photographs from the original Volume 4 album. So here are the Outtakes and Mixes We've got Wheels of Confusion, Slash the Straightener, Changes, Supernaut, Snowblind, Laguna Sunrise, and Under the Sun instrumental. Okay, so these were mixed by Steven Wilson, February 2020. Pretty interesting. What's really cool about these and the other outtakes is you hear a lot of differences in some of these compared to what we remember and know of the original, or the original album and the final versions here. So it's kind of cool to hear some of these songs with slightly different variations and arrangements and certainly vocals and stuff, and we'll get to that in a second. So that's pretty cool. I found that a really interesting listen. I can see myself going back to that. So this was pretty fascinating. So this is the alternate takes, false starts, and studio dialogue. So there's Geezer on the front, all right, and on the back there's the man. Of course, we know those pictures, right? So here you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different takes on Wheels of Confusion. Actually, sorry, there's 4. One is with a false start. Okay, but Wheels of Confusion, different takes. What's interesting is like it when you listen to these, the riffs are a little bit different. The lyrics obviously haven't been fully fleshed out, so you've got Ozzy just kind of like singing stuff that whatever. It's almost like he's just whatever comes to mind first he's singing. You've got an outtake on the Straightener, which of course is the second part of that song. You've got a couple of different alternate takes of Supernaut, which is really interesting because again the song is not really fully fleshed out yet. If you know that song really well, you know the riff inside out, and you hear Tony doing all these little different things. That's like, well, that's kind of not how that song originally wound up being, but pretty interesting to hear some of the stuff in its infancy. And then you've got Under the Sun on here as well as Snowblind. Pretty cool stuff. Again, this is a remix by Steven Wilson, February 2020. This is an interesting kind of cursory listen. I don't know how often I'll go back to this, but it's kind of cool to hear some of these songs as they were being worked on, right, before they finalized them. And then, of course, we've got Live in the UK 1973. There's Bill. Okay. There's Bill once again. So here you've got recorded live in the UK tour, March 1973. So this is taken from a couple of different shows, obviously. And this is mixed 16-track analog tapes by Richard Digby Smith, April 2020, assisted by James Griffiths and Hugh Gilmore. So here, if you're familiar with some of the live recordings from that year, from that tour, from the band, we talked Live at Last and various other recordings, you're going to hear some of those on here, as well as some stuff that you haven't before. So we've got Tomorrow's Dream, Sweet Leaf, War Pigs, Snowblind, Killing Yourself to Live, Cornucopia, Wicked World, Supernaut, drum solo as well, Wicked World reprise, Embryo, Children of the Grave, and Paranoid. Excuse my dog out there. So pretty cool, actually. Pretty cool. If you're into the the live stuff from back in the day, it's very cool to have this. So overall, this is a pretty neat set. And again, like I said, it's my favorite Sabbath album of all time. So this, I basically had to get this. So whether or not you want to plunk down the $40 or $50 or whatever you can get it for, that's up to you. But for me, it's kind of a no-brainer. And I'm not saying I would buy something like this for every single Sabbath album if they decide to do something of this magnitude. But this is kind of like the Jethro Tull box sets that they put out, sort of. They're very cool, right? For the collector. And if you love the albums, love the band, why not, right? So, yeah, I give this a thumbs up. It's another excuse for me to listen to Volume 4 in somewhat of a different incarnation, right? So I'm digging this. Hopefully, if you're a fan, you're going to go seek it out too. If not, hey, I understand that as well. Some people are pretty happy with the original versions they have, and that's cool. But I kind of like this. So anyway, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. As Ozzy always says, stay tuned for more stuff. And we'll see you real soon. I am Pete Pardo. Bye-bye.